it's LindaLee, and I'm going to give you a final flip through of the Carpetbagger Travel Journal that I made for Jewel, and it's probably my, I want to say, fourth attempt to get through the whole video. But here we go. So it is a carpetbagger journal. So in that theme, what we wanted this to represent is a piece of carpet. So this textile was originally blue, and I dyed it purple and attached this trim. And purple is one of the requested colors for the journal. Jewel wanted it to be purple and black. So I tried to bring in those two colors into this vintage type style. This is a vintage button with brass, and this here is actually embossed. It looks like leather from here, but it's actually vinyl. It's a little easier to work with. So we just have it kind of tied. It just loops around, and the way I have it fastened underneath here, it actually attaches to the front flap. And it is on here with like a cotter pin. It's got a metal shank, so it's actually attached underneath. And to protect the journal itself, I just glued another piece of the this material to it so that nothing happens to the journal itself. And the journal, all right, so the piece of textile itself, I actually have a single pocket that is stitched into the back with burlap. I don't have any divider piece, so whatever's back here can kind of vary in size. We'll get to all of that. But the journal itself is 6 inches by 8 3/4 on its on the bigger pages. The cover part, the inside cover I should say, it's a single signature. It is covered by a file folder, and then the individual pages, there's about 80 pages in here for journaling. Actually, there's a few more because I glued some additional in there. But the collage itself is just representing pretty much world traveler. A little sticker from Barcelona. We got stamps from Australia and Poland. A little piece of ephemera from London. Dare to dream. Oh, see, that's why I have to keep starting over. Dare to be dream driven is a phrase that Jewel and her best friend Arit, they have a business, and that's on some of the merchandise that they actually sell. I met them on YouTube during the quarantine on their channel Essetino Artists. They have a Facebook page called Creative Business Success, and basically it's for creative entrepreneurs. It's just a friendly environment for inspiration and questions, and they have a really friendly group over there. They offer mentoring and coaching, and they have trainings. But anyway, Jewel is the one that requested this, and getting to know me and what I do with my YouTube channel. So to look at the journal itself, we have distressing throughout the book, both script stamp. We've got some, distressing on the edges, stenciling and stamping. The front page just has some journal cards and coffee stained paper. We got some stamps from Australia, and then just some little decorating on the pocket here, a little torn piece of map, and some passenger name and flight stuff. But this is a book page and some heavier paper. This paper I dyed at the same time as the fabric. I had a pail full of dye, and that's what I did is I dipped this and the trim too. And so it's all basically the same color. I have a little bit of gilding on the purple pages. I have some sewn pages on the larger ones just to help offer a little extra support. A belly band with textile sewn through the center, oversized tag. And Jewel, everything in this book is really, every surface is designed to really be written on, all of them. So feel free to write, because that's what it's made for. This here is a little tab card. This was made by Betty Calkins. She is a member of Junk Journal Junkies, etc. So a lot of the little tags and stuff that are in this journal, I actually did as projects with that group. I will tag that in the description. But we just got some lined paper and graph paper, design paper, some textile tabs throughout. This I did some rusting, and this key and a piece of necklace is just here to as a charm to adorn the page. And more coffee stained with script stamps and distressing. Just a little ornamental envelope. And this is one of the projects we did in group. This is mixed media paper that comes in a spiral binder. And this is just using the scraps, making photo slides. These photo slides are of Holland. And this here is the European coastline somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it is. But there's information on the paintings in the back. That's Jean-Claude Monet, who is my favorite artist. So, some more sewing. Lots of space for journaling. Just a piece of drawing paper, designer paper with a little bit of a lighter purple trim. Some black lace. I have black lace in a few spots. We have a vintage type bag. It's open on both sides, so you can tuck some papers in there. I couldn't tuck stuff in every single spot, only because I wouldn't have been able to tie it shut. So if for any reason, you don't want to use all the little pieces that I've stuck in, don't feel bad about it. Just take them out, set them aside, and use them in the other little things that I sent. So this is one of the pages that I just stuck in, because usually I just glue the flap of the envelope to the envelope, but instead I just distressed a little card and cut off the corners and stuck it in. So it gives you a little bit more journaling space. We've got some charms. There's a few charms that are tucked in here with some purple lace. This is the true purple that she requested. So I had to be sure to get that in there for you. Empty pocket, book page, more gilded dyed paper, some more coffee paper, a little textile tab. These are my faux little metal charms that I also made in my group. These were a lot of fun, but 3s are special numbers, so I wanted to make sure I put some 3s in here for you. More paper, designer paper with the burlap, another envelope. I gotta put something in a couple of these places. I can't have that many empty spots. Another little textile and another full metal tag. I also have some rusted paper clips in here too. So it's just made a little charm, just altered it. And we have an envelope that has a little tuck spot on it with a little tag and another little journal card. Inside, it's got a little tab to keep it shut. Inside, we have a little stamped key and 2 more journal cards that look like postcards, but they're just blank, so you can journal on those. Here are a sewn-in tag. This is another project from Junk Journal Junkies, etc. It was actually a 10-minute challenge. So I made this card in 10 minutes during a birthday celebration that we were having for, actually an anniversary for the group itself. It's I just had a 3-year anniversary. So, but it's made to journal on, so you can journal on the back, as well as this distressed little card. I printed this off, and that's actually, I sprayed water on it when I was doing the coffee dyeing of it, so it distressed it really cool. More coffee dye paper, ledger paper, another belly band with ephemera that I printed out, and again distressed and water. More little ephemera, but you can journal on all of them on the backs. So just little notes, or you know, phone number or dates. A tuck spot. There are some spaces that are open that I intentionally pulled the contents out. I wanted something to still be a surprise for Jewel when she received it. So there are going to be a few things that you will see, Jewel, that I am not showing here. So fun little surprise. But more distressed paper, a purple bag that I have script stamped and distressed. This here is just a fabric tip-in, so you can journal underneath. And oh, I got more little charms here. This is an amethyst charm and journey. More paper, a little sachet cover that I sliced open so it could be more like an open piece of paper instead of a bag. And this is the outer trim. This I dyed when I did the paper and the cover. Ledger paper. Here is the center of our big fat signature. I have a 5-hole pamphlet stitch holding this all in, and I'll tell you, 40 papers in a signature, it took me probably at least a half hour, 40 minutes to sew this in. It was a challenge. It was fun, and I did it, but at the same time, it's a lot of pages. So this here is just a cute little envelope, and what I did is I made a pocket here. Instead of using the envelope this way, you can just tuck something this way. I have a little glassine bag that's glued in, and a tag for journaling, a card for journaling. This is Tim Holtz, I believe. More ledger paper. This here is the back side of the sachet that I just have this flipped over. I did have a paper clip on here. But this here is made from my table work surface papers. So whenever I'm doing distressing and working, I have a piece of paper that's covering my table. This is one of those pieces of paper that I just cut and made into an envelope, just stitched around it. Now, Jewel, I have strings kind of all over on everything. If that messes with your senses, by all means, cut them all off. This is your book now, so you do what you want. A little journaling card, stamps from Australia, more coffee dyed paper just to write on. The other side of the bag that's cut open. Yeah, see, it's sliced open. A book page, graph paper. Isn't that cool though? The coffee stain. Some of these papers are like really pretty. And a little bit of stenciling. The other side of the map belly band. This here is another oversized journal card with some Tim Holtz adornment. But just waiting for your scribbles so you can journal on there. Another pocket. This here is another project from Junk Journal Junkies etc. This was the June Wall of Inspiration project. So every month we have project shares so that everybody in the group, if they're taking part in the Wall of Inspiration, they can make something similar or let this inspire them, and then we just send it out to each other. So it's just happy mail, fun mail. Another journaling card. This one is also Tim Holtz. This here is just that matte paper. This is scrap that I just made into like a bookmark, but can also be journaled on. And more papers, another map, and a little tab. This here is another piece of paper that I just glued into the envelope flap instead of gluing it to the pages. I didn't even distress this one. More papers. This is an altered paper clip. So this is actually a paper clip in here that's journaled. Seam binding from Kelly Snow's BygonesVarietyShop. She has every color under the sun that you could want. But this is from my rusting project, both the Tree of Life and the safety pin itself. And this is just a scrap piece of junk jewelry. So we just made a charm out of it. And you can tuck some papers in there so it'll just hold it on the page. Another amethyst charm. All the charms are on little lobster claws, so you can, and actually ball pins too, so you can take them out and attach them to something else. But if you wanted to lessen up the bulk a little bit, you could. Or you can use them to attach more stuff. It's up to you. Gilded paper, book page, another piece of cardstock that I just kind of tipped in, coffee stained paper, more pages, the other side of the vintage bag, also from Kelly Snow's Etsy shop. And then some lace and trim sewed on the pages. The other side of that drawing paper. We're getting close to the end. It's a big book, isn't it? Journaling card that I printed out and distressed, and this is just some water got on it. So this is a postcard. We did a thing last year and we got postcards from each other. This one came from the Philippines, and I believe Jewel has family there. So this is, I'm giving this to you. I'm not sure what a couple of the words are that she wrote on here, but maybe you can let me know. But it's made by a friend that I've made in the Philippines through the group. And a distressed envelope. Coffee dye paper, distressed, And then the other side of the textiled belly band. This is Smoky Quartz and Swarovski Crystal. Also still on a lobster claw. And this little bag here has more postcards. So this one is New York City. I believe this one is somewhere in Germany. And then this one is Venice. So those are for you. They're all vintage. They're probably at least, I don't know. The first one could have been, I don't know. I can't guess, actually. And more gilding. And that's it. So, and then I have, you know, other stuff that's going to go into that pocket that you haven't seen yet. I made a little scrappy pad. This probably has maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe 17 or 20 pages that you can journal on both sides. But it's just different papers that have been distressed. That's actually avocado, dyed and coffee stained. This, I believe, is Kool-Aid, the green. But it's just stapled in, and then I have a little trim on the top. The other pocket has, this map is from, I want to say 1990-ish, but it's a map of your British Columbia, and it's got a little map of Vancouver and Alberta on the other side, but the Canadian territories are on the back. But that is for you. So it might be interesting to take a closer look and see how things have changed from then till now for you. And this is another little trinket on a rusty safety pin from my rusting project. The little key and the broken zipper tag. So this is a removable, obviously it can come out of the journal. Another little postcard that was one of the projects for the Junk Journal Junkies etc. Some coffee stained paper for writing, and then there is a stamp from Namibia from another one of my friends in group, Claudia. We've swapped a couple of times. And a little airmail stamp, another rusty paper clip with seam binding from Kelly's shop. And this has 40 pages, I want to say, of just plain paper. I don't have any distressing other than the coffee dye in here. Okay, so scribble away, and then just a square doily. Another rusty paper clip. This is just a cardstock map of a make pretend place, I believe. Yeah, it's come from like a fairy tale pad of paper. It's called Once Upon a Time. But this would be easier for you to, you know, maybe take with you and stick in your computer bag or something than this whole great big journal. So I wanted to make something that was removable and easier to handle. I just have it tucked in the very back so that it doesn't fall out. And then this here, I don't know if you saw me make this or not. This is a little removable folio as well. It's just a distressed paper bag, so it makes it look more like leather. And it's got some pockets, a little envelope that's velcroed, see? So you can like keep little receipts in here, but there's little paper and journaling card. There's nothing in here, little piece of paper folded up. And more journaling surfaces. So you've got a lot of writing to do, my friend. This has probably got maybe another 18 pieces of paper in here, so another, like 36 pages of journaling, and another pocket. So there's a journal card. This is some kind of ticket. I'm not sure from. It's got some 1800 dates on it. And then a vintage postcard for our cameras. So anyway, that's all of it, except for a few little things that I did keep out, so that when you do go through it, there will be, a couple of things that you haven't seen. But she's big and she's beefy. My original intention wasn't for it to be quite this big, but I couldn't help myself. When you close her up, just kind of give her a little squish and then wrap this forward. Okay, and then this coming over, and then just remember this wraps around behind. And then you just kind of slide it through. And then this button here is kind of what holds it together underneath. So there she is, your Carpetbagger journal, travel journal. So hopefully you love it. I really loved making it, and I hope you use it for a long time, at least until she's all filled up. Maybe you can take a picture, and show me what you do with her pages. But it's not just for journaling. It can be for memory keeping, pictures or whatever you want to do with it. So thank you for the privilege of making this journal for you, and everyone else for sticking with me to the end to see the whole thing. I appreciate your time. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do, and you'll be able to see other projects as they come down the line. Everything that I made that went into here, all the little side projects, I'll make sure that they're in the description, but they're also in the playlist for the making of this journal as well. So have a great night. Thank you.